What's up, hustlers? This week's guest is Hellena Padilla. So, Hellena, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course. So, let's get right into it. You got a lot of different things going on, but I'm sure what most people know about you is your love and your passion for Muay Thai.
Yep.
So, what got you into Muay Thai?
I started training actually MMA like 7-8 years ago.
Wow.
And I actually had one MMA fight, and I hated jiu-jitsu. It's so complicated. Nothing wrong with it. It's just too much work, and
Yeah.
I'm not that flexible and stuff. And I just decided to stay in Muay Thai.
Okay.
And since then, I just keep training and training and training.
All right. Nice. So, what got you into it? Were you just looking for some sort of sport that you really enjoyed, or?
Yeah, well, actually, I used to do figure ice skating,
Okay.
and I was terrible at it because I'm not girly. I don't dance. I don't do all those things. And then when one of my friends told me, hey, you should come to a class, and I was like, well, this is fun. And I went to see some fights, and I was like, that's so cool. Those girls were so brave. And I was like, maybe one day. So I always keep it like in a maybe, I never say like, oh, I want to be a world champion. It's just like, oh, maybe just little by little. And the opportunity came, and I got my first fight, my second fight, and just like that.
Yeah. And so you said you started with MMA, and you didn't really like that. You didn't really like jiu-jitsu. So what was it about those that kind of steered you away?
So I did try for a whole year jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
But every time that I go to the class, I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Like you suffer when you want to go do like you are going to do something and you're like, not my thing. But I'm still here. I'm still gonna try.
Yeah.
And it's just so complicated. So it takes. I love to see it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoa, that's dope.
Yeah.
Can never do that, but that's amazing. And just decided to focus 100% in Muay Thai.
Awesome. And so what do you really enjoy about training Muay Thai? Like, to you, what makes it separate and different from the other martial arts that you've tried?
Mostly like trying from another martial arts, it was like, it is everything about like getting better all the time. And I start seeing like, oh, I used to do this one so bad, but now it's getting better. But I also took that like to my personal life. So you just don't give up on stuff that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And everyone should do that. So it's like, well, yeah, this took me so much to learn, but it's worth it. So I'm just like gonna keep trying and trying and trying. And
Yeah.
it's just like that, some of us have like that competition in ourselves, like, oh, I have to do it and I have to do it.
Yeah.
And it like somehow it's been like 6 years and
Yeah.
I'm just still doing it.
Wow. I was going to say it even says a lot that you did jiu-jitsu for a year without liking it, because most people would do like one class and be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm out. But
Yeah.
you kept, I guess, trying to have faith that maybe you'd get it or you'd like it more as you did it. But okay. And how often do you train Muay Thai?
I try to train at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I also go to lift weights, so if I cannot make it to the gym, I go lift weights and stuff. But usually, like, if one of our teammates is fighting, we try to be there for them as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, one of my teammates, like, my big teammate, she's fighting in Australia this weekend. So, we try to be for her, like, as much as we can so she can prepare for the fight. So sometimes even, like, twice a day.
Wow.
But yeah.
Awesome. So what does that look like when you're helping a teammate prepare for a big fight? What are you doing?
We do sparring, and like with her, like I try to hold pads for her, and just like she kicks and punches so hard, so I try to act like it doesn't hurt, but like I have to tell them, and I like to tell them like, dude, you killed me with this punch. Like I didn't cry at the moment, but I felt it, and just let them know that they're getting better. Like we all want to hear that, right? We don't want to hear all the time the bad stuff. We all know, like, we didn't do something right. So, as a teammate, I think you should just encourage them and tell them what they're doing good.
Help build their confidence up. Yeah, that's awesome. And then what are, like, some of the positive mental side effects that you get from training that regularly? Like, obviously, you're building up your skills, training 6-7 years now. But I guess, how does that benefit you outside the gym?
Like I said, just like in the personal life, it trains your mind to not quit too easy when things are like getting tough. Um, because some people's like, well, you just go there and get punched. I mean, yeah, but it's more than that. And then
Yeah.
when you're in the gym, people they have like different jobs.
Yeah.
Like we all have like chefs, lawyers, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And we all have different lives outside the gym, and we all have our struggles. But being there, we support each other, and then kind of makes you understand that your life is not so bad, and you're not the only one.
Yeah.
So we have to be there to support each other and just like let it go and fight for whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah. Well, those people who say you're just getting punched in the face, they've probably never been punched in the face.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot you can learn from getting punched in the face and continuing to show up to get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. And what really keeps you coming back? I know you said you're preparing to start competing in Muay Thai, right? You've got your first fight coming up pretty soon?
Oh, no, that would be my 8th fight.
Your 8th fight?
Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood. Got it. How have the other ones gone so far? What are some of the things you've learned from that?
Like I have like a pretty solid record. I have 5 wins, 2 losses.
That's pretty damn good.
My first loss, I took it so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I apologize. I actually act like a jackass. But that was a long time ago, and it's also the people that it's around you, right?
Yeah.
They show you respect, and that's another thing. Like, martial arts, like, teach you so much respect. Like, at the end of the day, your opponent, it's not your enemy. If it wasn't for your opponent, you wouldn't be in the ring, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, my 8th fight. This last fight, it was just I haven't lost in a while, so it's just like, oh well, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I have to keep training.
Well, that's good because, I mean, somebody like you're used to being really good at whatever you're doing, Muay Thai included. So it sounds like it's teaching you how to lose gracefully every now and then, right? It doesn't have to be the end of the world.
I wouldn't say I'm like really good. I guess I'm just like I don't black out and stuff. But yeah, I'm always like see my teammates lose and stuff like that. People have to understand like you don't win all the time. It's okay, and yeah, not because you lose they're gonna stop talking to you. They're gonna be disappointed at you. So
Yeah.
I see, the kids, the younger people that get so mad when they lose. And it's like, it's okay. You have to go through the process.
Yeah.
And we're not making, I'm not making money over this. I'm still an amateur. I do it for fun.
Yeah.
So, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I mean, 5-2 is still pretty damn good. You're still doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. So this will be your 8th fight, and then what are some of the goals that you have with Muay Thai? Do you want to compete at a higher level, or?
If the opportunity comes, yes. I don't try to like put it in my mind so much that it bugs me.
Yeah.
But if it happens, that'll be awesome. Like when I was living in Mexico, one of my goals was like, oh, I wish I could fight in the States, and it already happened. I would like to fight like in a big organization at some point. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And if I turn pro at some point, like if it happens just like that, like sure, why not?
Yeah. And how do you decide who you're fighting in Muay Thai? Like obviously Jiu-Jitsu, you have belts, so you go by belt and weight. But how do you kind of categorize who you'd fight against in Muay Thai?
So my coaches are the ones who decided, but also it's weight. Depending on the weight, like 112. It's not like MMA that it's only like certain categories. Like in here,
Yeah.
you kind of like get in the middle. So 110, 112, 115. Depending on how many fights this girl has, and like they will see like the level. Like if they are like no, like they want you so she can win.
Yeah.
So they're pretty good at that. They're pretty good at like knowing if it's a good match. Also, they don't want
Gotcha.
easy match for me. It's just like
Right.
even.
So they're gonna ideally pick somebody who's a good matchup for you and who's about the same weight as you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. So you look to maybe compete at a higher level, but it's not something that's like a make or break for you. You're just kind of if it happens, it happens, right?
Yes, totally. And I'm getting
Nice.
older, so so yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that having martial arts in your lifestyle is incredibly, incredibly healthy. Like you said, I mean, learning how to get punched in the face and keep showing back up for more and more is a pretty healthy lesson. But what are some of the other things that you really enjoy about training so regularly with Muay Thai?
I would say all the people in there.
Yeah,
Locally at my gym, there's no egos.
yeah,
So it's always nice to see everyone in there and seeing the people that they just start a couple months like coming back.
yeah,
And they go to you and they ask you like for advice and they listen to you. So I mean, I'm not an expert, but I mean, I can teach them some stuff. And there's people in there that can teach me stuff. And just the friendship in general that there's in the gym. And the owners are like super into us and growing the team and so dedicated. So that helps a lot because it's pretty far from where I live. I don't care driving 30 minutes every day.
yeah. So that gives you a really good sense of community and family
Yes.
there. I like that. Awesome. All right. Well, when you're not training or doing Muay Thai, what else do you like to do to spend your time?
Pretty basic. I like to go get coffee.
Yeah.
Just movies. I hang out with my girlfriends, go shopping. I'm still a girl. Shopping, and I like to bake a lot.
Got you. Do
So-
people assume just because you fight that you don't like shopping or baking or any other girly stuff? Or
Yeah, they do. And when I tell them like, oh, I brought cookies.
they
or
think
like,
you just like
from-
sit at home and listen to death metal. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Paint your nails black all the time. Gotcha.
Yeah, I know. Like, I brought cookies. From where? It's like, I made them. Really? Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. And so you like to do a lot of those things for fun. You have a dog as well, right? You spend a lot of time with your dog. That's awesome. What do you do for work?
I run social media accounts for restaurants. I recently started like my own little business.
Nice.
I work with this girl Beatrice for a long time, and she teach me everything. So I was like, well, why not?
Yeah.
So, yeah, mostly Mexican restaurants, but it's just awesome. I love my job. I love like to help them grow their business, and I'm good at it.
Nice. So you're running social media accounts for restaurants. So the idea is just to help them build up a presence online and attract more customers and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you said you kind of had a mentor who was teaching you how to do that, right?
Yeah, worked with her for like 3 years, and then she's starting a new project that it's called Amiga Latina. So basically, she wants to make all the ladies, the Latinas, to come in together instead of like competing each other. So she's so busy with that. Like, I'm still trying to be involved with her and help her a lot. But also, we all had to grow and do our own thing and take risk, because I was all the time like, you talk, I stay here.
Yeah.
But I had to do my own thing too, and yeah, she teach me everything.
That's awesome. And so after you learned that from her, how long ago did you start your own business doing it?
So my own business, I started, I think, I did the license in November. So, but I didn't get any account until March.
Okay. So
So-
just about 5-6 months now, huh?
Yeah,
Wow,
all that
that's
time,
awesome.
Again, not quitting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, well, I have to keep trying and trying. Someone is going to say yes.
Yeah.
And
So why do you think, that's a recurring theme in your life, is continuing to push on and push on and push on? Where do you think you developed that perseverance?
I'll say from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was never in the picture, so she always worked so hard to give us everything. And I just see her work all the time, and my grandparents too. So I guess just from there, like, you just can't quit. You have
Yeah.
stuff to do if you want to keep going and stuff.
You never saw her quit, so you've never learned how to quit, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Easy enough.
And Latina mom was like, you better not, or I will smack you. I won.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. And so your mom, she's here in Vegas, or she's...
No, she's in Mexico. My family are in Mexico City. I'm
Okay.
the only one living here.
Nice. And what made you want to come to Vegas from Mexico City?
Well, I came in the past just like to train for a couple months and just fall in love with the city. And when I went back to Mexico, I knew I didn't want that life or just being in traffic for like 2 hours a day and being in an office for 12 hours and just make the bare minimum. And I was like, well, I can give it a try. I worked to get my green card and stuff, and
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah, that's a process, huh?
Yes.
Okay. And so that makes a lot of sense too, because just moving yourself country to country is not a very easy thing to do. So that was, how long ago did you move here?
Almost 5 years.
Wow. So 5 years ago, you moved here. You've developed an incredible family and martial arts community that you work with at your gym. You've started your own business here in just 5 years in the States.
Yes.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, social media accounts, that's something that I know a lot of people who want it for their business. They want a great social media account, and for their personal account. I mean, people care a lot about that. So what are some of the most common mistakes that you see people making when they're building their social media accounts?
Well, I would say, there's some tips that you can tell people, like, times when they have to post, depending of their social media. Let's say restaurants are good in the morning and the night. During like the middle of the day, not so much because you're working. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. And in the morning you wake up hungry, and the night you want to eat dinner. So
Yeah.
it works perfectly fine. Using the trend songs. But I have a friend. He's a fighter.
Yeah.
So I try to help him so much with his social media, because with social media you can get sponsors, you can get people to know you and stuff like that. So I was like, don't post all your pictures at once. Like 1 or 2 posts a day. And what did he do? Post 10 pictures at once. I'm like, oh my God, I just told you,
Yeah.
A lot of people copy paste their hashtags. Don't do that. Just write one by one, because the algorithm notices it that you're copy pasting.
Yeah.
Don't edit your pictures so much. I mean, we all do it. We all use filters, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can tell.
Don't have it be obvious that it's super edited. Just make sure it looks good.
Yeah, and just be real. At the end of the day, we don't post our entire life in social media. Like, I don't post my videos crying, right?
Yeah, sure.
But just be real. Don't pretend to be someone else, because at some point people are going to find out. And that's usually what social media is trying to do right now. Like, be real, be spontaneous, be original, which
Nice.
is kind of hard. But yeah.
And don't post all your pictures at
And
once.
please don't do that.
I know
We
it-
get bored. I'm like, come on.
I know what you mean, though, because people sometimes they'll have that moment where, like, for him, it was probably like he did a tournament or something. So he got like 50 photos and videos there. So then he just posts them all. So you're saying he should keep that and kind of space it out over weeks or months or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. If you have a photo shoot,
Yeah.
we are going to be excited to see it. And I know you're excited to see your photos and,
Yeah.
oh, it looks so cool. But post 1 or 2 and then save it. Next day you can post another 2.
Yeah.
And then you keep your you keep the people engaged with your stuff, instead of like, okay, I saw it, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. You're cool. We get it.
Gotcha. And then that tip about hashtags, that's a one that I didn't even know, actually. That's pretty unique. So you're saying a lot of people will be like, all right, these are my 20 hashtags that I like. They'll save it in their notes, and then they'll copy paste that into every post. And you're saying the algorithm knows that.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So don't do that.
Don't.
Just type it out every time. Even if you miss one, it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Right? Awesome. Okay. Well, you guys heard it. You heard it here. So, I mean, aside from, working and helping businesses, what do you really enjoy about your career that you have in the company that you started?
All the people that I've been meeting at all the restaurants, because like I say, everyone has different stories. And, I take my time to know everyone, every waiter, every waitress, chefs. I try to talk to them as much as I can, because we're all humans and we all have history and we all have something to learn from each other. So I really like that. Like, I have the opening of this restaurant soon. And I've been spending so much time in there, but it doesn't feel like it because we're just talking. Like, I try to be friends, you know. I'm not there just like, hey, I'm the girl of the pictures, bye.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I try to make it fun. I try to make them their day list a little bit less, you know, bad if they're having a bad day or stuff like that. So
That's awesome. And it must be really nice to be able to have a really flexible schedule too, so you can train as much as you want to train. And I'm guessing you probably make it home pretty frequently to go see your family in Mexico,
Yes.
right? So it's not really something you could do if you were working like a 9 to 5 every day.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And I mean, what would you say? What are some of your long-term goals that you want to accomplish? I mean, you've already accomplished a lot since you've came here to the States. What does the future look like for you?
I mean, I would love to keep learning stuff related to work because, you know, you can do this. You can do one thing forever, right? If you evolve, if you don't evolve, you're going to be forgotten. But I would love to buy a camera and take super cool pictures because I have a lot of photographer friends and it's art for me. I would love to do that too. I actually bought a drone.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to use it because I already broke 2 propellers.
Well, that
You
guy
know.
over there can teach you how to use it for sure. He can.
better.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Yeah, just keep learning, you know, design stuff that I probably saw it in college and I forgot about it. Just like keep improving myself, like keep training, and I don't know. Maybe I will go back to figure ice skating. We'll see.
Maybe. That's a big difference between Muay Thai and figure skating, huh?
Yes,
It's like
it
yin
is.
and
But
yang.
let me tell you, I used to get hurt more in figure ice skating than in
Really?
Muay Thai. Yes.
Somehow that makes sense to me. I can see that. Just skates and ice. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I have a little sister. She's the reason why I started doing figure ice skating.
Yeah.
And every time it's like, oh my ankle, oh my back. I was like, oh my God, Mom, you spent so much money on medics for her,
Yeah.
and I'm fine. See,
Yeah.
you get so scared about me.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, I played hockey in high school, and now I do jiu-jitsu, and I definitely got hurt a lot more in hockey than I do in jiu-jitsu. So,
Right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And then for you, what would you say is like one of the most valuable life lessons that you've had to learn so far that you think everybody could benefit from hearing?
I will say, just don't give up. We all have like dark times. We all go through bad stuff. Like I said, we don't post it on social media. You don't see that. Usually you see happiness, blah, blah. And sadly, that's all we see, right? Like, oh, this person has it so good. Why not me? But no, like we all cry. We all have our bad moments. We all have our ups and downs. And like we're all the same. Even though people are like, you know, we're so different. We're not. You know, we all cry. We all suffer. We're hungry. All those things. Like I wish everyone like know that. And I read a book that says, you know, when you get like an opportunity, but you start like doubting yourself, that it says like, oh, do I deserve this? Maybe I don't. So it's a book about fears, the fears that all humans has, and just trying to pass the fear on every little thing. You know, a fight, a job, everything is just like the fear try to get you more than like it gets in your head. So I would say that.
That's awesome. And, you know, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Instagram. Sorry, I've been taking a while to respond, but I do respond to everyone. On my Instagram, it's Hellena with double L, Hellena, Padilla, Padill. I'm usually always there.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. You did incredible. So can't wait to see everything that you do in the future. And it's going to be an incredible episode. So
Thank you so much.
Awesome.